that's completely fair, man. In terms of like what you sort of enjoy most of now about your coaching and like your content creation and the business that you're now currently running, like what is it that you enjoy doing most? Because it's like I know like you do one thing, Jace does another. You've got Nat doing something, you've got Tam doing something, your dad does something. Like what is it that you enjoy versus like what you're doing? Because I know you're pushing your business and your programs and all that sort of stuff. But
yeah,
like, conversing with you in the background, obviously, like I know that you enjoy coaching and writing content for coaching more so than business. So
yeah. So I think what I enjoy the most in life, so be that training, the business stuff we do, anything is like, it's like figuring shit out. I'm just really curious about lots of shit. So it was like the powerlifting side of things, like, I think I kind of know how to do this now. Not that you ever fucking completely have it. And there's still worlds that I can learn and will continue to learn, but it's like, hey, kind of want to go try this thing and see how this sort of works. And then like looking at, for example, my most recent kind of post series has been like programming considerations for getting stronger. Like what are the 5 kind of primary things? So I'm not willing to just go like, oh, well, you do 3s 10 weeks out and then you do singles and then you compete and then you start at 8s and you go again. It's like, why? What's actually happening? And then if I know what's happening, how can I manipulate that sequence? And most of the time it actually boils down into something really fucking simple, but it's fun learning the system and the model.
Yeah, and trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and I think if like you said, we have lots of different people in our business with lots of different skill sets. And I did a podcast with Nick Weir as well, similar conversations. Like, I think my primary skill set is taking a shitload of information, pulling it down into what matters, creating a model that is proactive but allows you to be reactive in any situation. So, and I think that's what a lot of coaches and athletes across the board miss. This stuff's just not, all models are wrong. Some of them are useful. If you have a model, you at least have data. Most people, I think, are missing that data element to go back and go, did X got Y? Did X 0.2 got Y 0.7? That math doesn't add up. How do I make this work consistently?
It's similar to like the philosophy of Bruce Lee, trying to take the best of everything because nothing's perfect and try and make it as perfect as possible for you and your goal and your clientele and your systems, I guess.
Exactly. And like be aware of the limitations of your systems too.
Yeah, that's totally fair. So I guess in terms of limitations, what have you found that's been, I guess, you struggle with when it comes to this sort of line of thinking? And
one I've been playing with a lot lately is the percentage load versus like perceived effort prescription. So we use rep and reserve. And like coming into this prep myself lately, I was working with Will Crozier at the time, was like the interpretation of what RPE meant pre-peak into peak, or like once you hit singles, it's different.
Very much so.
And I don't like that. And it's like,
totally
something we tried with our guys was we went RIR all the way in until the peak, and then we changed to RPE, and the RPE wasn't rep scheme based. It was like, how close are you to dying? And we tried that. So it's like, okay, let's see how this works. Because thinking about like primarily who I work with is people that have gone to the gym, they know a little bit what they're doing. They want to do a novice comp, they want to do a photo shoot, they want to just be a superhero, like whatever, look hot naked and be strong.
Like a beginner to intermediate almost type.
Gym
goal.
That's I guess where my skill set is. Telling that person that, hey, RPE means this week, and RPE means that next week. It's like, fucking what? Like that. What do you mean? So it's like, how do we systemize that? So that's one that I've been playing with lately. It's been really fun.
And how have you found it?
It worked really well.
Yeah.
I think the girls pushed much further than I think they had in the past using. So for example, my best double deadlift is something like 230, maybe 240. and I pulled, actually it's closer to 220, and I pulled 260 for a single.
Yeah.
In 265 on the day.
Yeah.
So it's like that gap. What's a 1 rep in reserve? It's like, I don't know, 235.
Yeah,
so
right.
30 kilos off where I need to be. So I think a lot of the girls found similar, and they were able to stretch their top lifts during their programming a lot easier.
Yeah.
And then I think we look from an outcome standpoint, 8 lifters, and I think we had 7 PB totals.
Yeah, beautiful.
And we had 3-week lockdown, 6 weeks.
Yeah, like during all the stupid shit that happened as well, right?
Yeah, so it's kind of like, hey, that's pretty good data for me to say that it worked. The feedback from the clients was good. Their recovery was good. The only thing I noticed was there probably need to be a little bit of a change in the deload structure because they were pushing harder than they had in the past.
Yeah, man. So with your like article writing and stuff, so I don't know if many people actually know, or like you had a whole series of articles, I think at the start of last year from memory. I can't even remember what year we were in anymore. How did you find writing articles? I guess it's something that not overly many coaches sort of do, especially on the more technical side of things.
Yeah.
How was that for you, that experience?
I loved it. The reason we went down that road was obviously COVID, like exposure. Prior to that, I've always been pretty much consistently writing because we had trainers that we needed to teach.
Yes.
So instead of posting an article, it was a written document that we then presented.
Yes.
Which is probably why I've been quiet lately, because I've been writing courses instead. But they are coming back, I promise. But they might come back as YouTube videos this time instead.
Oh, hello.
Yeah. So look, I think for any coaches out there that want to get a grasp on their knowledge, try writing it down in a way that tells someone else how to do it.
Yep.
Because in the process of doing that, you find all these things that are like, so why do you do that? You're like, I don't know. Fuck, I probably should have a reason for doing that. And then go find out. So the RPE versus percentage loading article that I wrote, which is my first one, it was literally like, all right, I'm on the rep and reserve bandwagon. I've never programmed with percentage loading. I don't understand it that well. I've just stayed in my own lane because I've gotten results with it all the time.
Of course.
So let's do a comparison. And then I get to stuff and be like, fuck, I don't really know. So I'd have to go and find out and learn about it and then come back and be like, okay, put that together. So I think anyone who wants to put any kind of methodology together, or there becomes a time in your career as a coach that you need to develop your own models.
Yes, agreed.
Using someone else's training model will expire. You should be learning from everybody else's for a time, and then you start to create your own.
Create your own and develop your own system. Yep.
So you and I follow very, very similar principles and thoughts when we write programs, when we do nutrition. Jason and I get it all the time. I'll give my clients a program that Jace wrote, like for a specific outcome, and they'll be like, "Did Jace write this?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, how'd you know?" It's like just looks like Jason. It's like the art form of programming's in it.
Yeah, for sure.
So you start to put your own model together, means you understand it better, means you back it better. You can actually review it. What in there was just like shit that some guy told you 10 years ago that you still thought was true, that you never thought to check. Those kind of things start to come out inside that. So valuable, in my opinion.